On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel's changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off and your bet goes with them. Not anymore. With FanDuel's Super Sub, if your player's subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you're still in it until the final whistle. Visit FanDuel.com. Get started now. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel.
21 plus select states for Kansas in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino. 18 plus DCKYWY. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-MY-RESET. 888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org/chat. Connecticut. Visit mdgamblinghelp.org. Maryland. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org. Call 800-327-5050. Massachusetts. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Text HOPE-NY in New York. Call 877-770-7867. Louisiana.
Visit FanDuel.com. Get started now. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi. Okay, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast. Breaking news.
And big news tonight on the Rita Cosby Show, and there is a lot of it. We have an action-packed show. Graham Platner, just a few moments ago, pains me to say this, has won the Democratic primary for U.S. Senate in Maine. Again, he advances to the general election and handily wins. I mean, the last numbers, and not all the votes are counted, but clearly he has a big enough margin to handily win over the former governor, Janet Mills. Even though she said she suspended her race, she was still listed on the ballot as well as others. But Graham Platner handily had like 75% of the vote. So my question to Maine is, what the heck is wrong with you? And if you look at the acceptance speech, it like send chills down your spine. You see all these women standing behind him, clapping like a bunch of lemmings as he's sitting saying, oh, it's redemption time. It's the grace of Maine. Now let's juxtapose this with the report that the New York Times has talked to a few women, some of them who are on the Kick app. And some of them say, when they were asked, are you of age? Because remember, he was on that Kick app. One or two of them has answered, let's just say it could be pretty damning for Graham Platner. So if you think Graham Platner made it through the redemption tunnel, this is just the beginning. I think a tsunami is about to hit the so-called oyster farmer of Maine. And this guy, this to me is a whole new low. I am fired up tonight because I cannot believe that this is the best that the Democratic Party can do. He's going to be running against a very accomplished Senator, Susan Collins, who is obviously a veteran of politics. It's a woman. She's someone who's pretty much bipartisan, too. That's the other thing, too, as well. She's someone who doesn't always vote the party line. She's an independent thinker. It works for Maine. She always pulls it out. Often she's down in the polls, but she always has a very good, strong finish. And I hope for America's sake that that's what's going to happen again. Graham Platner disgusts me. Graham Platner, to me, is the lowest of the low. And if you're going to run for political office, you shouldn't just have a few skeletons in your closet. You should have none. And this guy has, as I used the phrase tsunami before, he has an ocean full of skeletons. And I have a feeling it is just the beginning. And tonight he also came out swinging. We're going to use the word cojones a couple times tonight because, boy, did this guy show them tonight. And I'm not talking about in the Kicks app. I'm talking about in his verbiage. Maybe he did there, too. That may be coming, too. Are you ready, Maine, for what you just voted in? What a disgrace. I love the state of Maine. What is in the lobster broth there? What are you doing? Especially Maine women. You guys were right. You guys were telling me the other night, a lot of women are going to vote for him. Do they like a bad boy? Do they like redemption? Do they like lunacy? Or is it a combination of all three? But again, Graham Platner, sadly, as it breaks my heart, has won the Democratic primary handily tonight. And here he is in his little victory speech with all the women clapping behind him saying, "Isn't Graham such a sweet, nice Nazi tattoo-wearing man?" Here it is.
Thank you all very much. I want to thank my mom and my dad, who have loved me unconditionally for 41 years, even when it wasn't easy. If you believe, as I do, that we can change our politics and change our country, then you must also believe that people can change. And the reason I believe that is because I have lived it. And the reason that I have lived it is because of my wife. Amy, 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 Amy. Amy Jane, you are my best friend and the love of my life. And thank you.
And thank you for letting me cheat on you. Thank you. Thank you for letting me put obviously very sexually explicit comments and maybe photos. There's that picture of him in a towel. That's what he's using as his profile on Kick. Thank you, Amy. Thank you for what a beautiful, faithful relationship I have. That's disgusting. I'm sorry. I am so up in arms tonight. I am so furious tonight. And then when I bring up the word cojones, here he is. He gets to the stage after his little, "I love Amy and we are so great together, even though I cheated on her in the first year of marriage" on Kick. Thank you, Amy, for sticking with me, even though you know I was all over the place and the dam is about to break even more. Thank you, Amy. Thank you. True love story. Then let's go to him slamming Susan Collins. Now, here's clearly where this guy, I'll give him the "I've got cojones" award. The guy, first of all, talks about Brett Kavanaugh. That's a doozy. Brett Kavanaugh, remember, was accused of those horrible things by Christine Blasey Ford. There was no proof they ever even met. And yet, so he goes after Trump tonight. He goes after Brett Kavanaugh for being on the Supreme Court. He goes after Susan Collins, who's a very level-headed woman and an amazing senator from Maine. He's like getting ugly and in the dirt tonight. So it just shows this guy says he doesn't care what you say about me. I am going to try to smear you till no end. This is going to be one ugly race from now till Election Day. Take a listen.
If you reflect Maine's values, why are you funding masked agents who are ripping our neighbors off the streets, driving them off in unmarked vans? That is not the freedom that I served 4 tours defending. If you are an independent voice, why do you vote with Donald Trump 95% of the time? If you're so bipartisan, why were you the deciding vote to put Brett Kavanaugh on the Supreme Court? The deciding vote to defund our health care and our hospitals. Why did you rubber stamp the greatest redistribution of wealth from the working class to the ruling class in the history of our nation? Susan Collins is only bipartisan when it doesn't matter. Susan Collins calls herself the gold standard of common sense. Common sense would be Mainers not having to choose between seeing a doctor or paying your mortgage. Common sense would be banning billionaires from buying elections. And it would also be giving workers the same seat at the table as CEOs. Common sense would be a minimum wage that's a living wage. It would be keeping our hospitals open and our schools funded and our kids from having to fight in another generation of forever wars.
You know what? He also said, why not release all the Epstein files? Now, let's not forget the irony. Epstein is obviously accused of some horrible crimes, no longer with us. I don't think by an accident, but we'll get into that another time.
Thanks for listening to The Rita Cosby Show. You can hear The Rita Cosby Show weeknights at 10 on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?